Greetings. Welcome to the Inglewood Call, hosted by RAGE, the Resident Association of Greater Inglewood. I'm Aysha Butler, one of the co-founders and the current president.
And good evening. My name is Sonya Harper.
And also a RAGE member.
Of course, RAGE member, West Inglewood resident.
West Inglewood resident.
Thank you for joining us this evening.
So today what we want to do is really give you an in-depth a look at the work that RAGE do and give you kind of an idea. I think each of our shows we talk about very briefly who we are and who our members are. But today we're going to talk about some of our projects that we've been working on. What have we done in the last 4 years? What are we looking forward to doing in the future? So with no further ado, we want to just kind of give you some idea of, who we are and what we've done. This is just a few pictures of some of our activities. And then, of course, if you want to follow us after this show, you can always follow us on social media. We are on Facebook at RAGE, Resident Association of Greater Inglewood. Twitter at join_rage. And on Instagram at rage_Inglewood.
And a lot of people ask us, RAGE, what's up with that name? But then they love it. They don't know whether to love it or hate it.
They
but
RAGE,
do.
It's very memorable, though.
Very memorable, right? Stands for simply Resident Association of Greater Inglewood.
And what's Greater Inglewood? That's Inglewood and West Inglewood combined. Those boundaries are 55th on the north to 74th on the south, and then from the Dan Ryan to Hamilton, a little bit before Western.
That's right. And what is RAGE? RAGE is simply our resident association that was founded in November of 2010. We are resident driven again, established to build relationships with other residents. Simply at the end of the day, we're residents trying to build relationship with each other.
Because if you live on Woods and I live on Union, don't we deal with the same exact issues?
We have the same exact issues.
And so our whole point was to really have this kind of coalition of Inglewood residents from all over the greater Inglewood community. We have a very asset-based approach. We're very grassroots. We do not receive any funding from anyone outside of the dues of our members. We do not want to be controlled by anyone. We want to say whatever we want.
That's right. We want to set our own agenda, have to listen to the rules and regulations of any third parties.
Exactly. That's right. And I think the asset-based approach is really an approach that, you as a member have an individual passion or gift inside of you, and that's what you contribute to the work of RAGE. So it's not that we say, hey, you join RAGE and now you have to do this. It's really, Sonya, what do you love doing? And then that's what you do.
And that's why RAGE is the organization for me. So, who are the members of RAGE? Well, you can be a member of RAGE too. If you live in one of those 6 wards, or even if you don't, and you live across Chicago and even in the suburbs. Hey, we take residents from all over the city who just want to help to support our mission and help to support positive news and initiatives in the Inglewood community. Join us.
That's right. And our number is right here on the screen at 866-845-1032. You can always call us. We have resident operators standing by to speak to you. We have village meetings that we'll talk about a little bit later when we schedule those. And we do this Inglewood Call Show because one of our passions was to help shift the perception of what folks think about the people in the community. Most people will look at us and think that, hey, we're from the north side or we're from somewhere else. But at the end of the day, it's Inglewood is diverse. We have all type of people that live in the community, and it's not just one particular category. And so some of us have college degrees, some of us don't. Some of us have backgrounds, while some of us don't. And most of us, and what we join together with RAGE is that we just want to see Inglewood thrive for the best that it can be. And that's why we do the work that we do.
So again, what is the mission of our resident association? Our mission is to mobilize people and force resources to force a change in the community by breaking down barriers in communication and promoting positivity through solution-based approaches.
And that's a very long-winded mission statement. Actually, the funny part about that is that we had a librarian who was one of our founders, and she came up with this to me, it's just to force change in the Inglewood community, but, it sounds very good. It's a great mission statement, and so we want to make sure that we keep that to the forefront in terms of all of our work.
And again, another wonderful wonderful example of how our members use their professional skills and expertise to lend that to the building
Right.
of an organization, but more importantly, the building of a community.
That's right.
Greater Inglewood.
And of course, you can reach us, and we put our contact information. It's rageinglewood.org, and our phone number is 866-845-1032 if you ever want to reach us. And definitely follow us on any of our social media sites. And one of our focus areas, and this was really based on the members in terms of what we will focus on. Inglewood has so many issues. We couldn't tackle everything. We can't tackle homelessness and crime and everything else. But our members, surveying our members, were very interested in these particular areas, which was education and youth development, economic development, and I think one of your favorites, Sonya.
Civic engagement and empowerment, being involved, being active in your community. So we're very happy and we're very filled with just those 3 areas that we work on. We stay very busy day and night.
And I think one thing that's really important to us is that the fact that it's not a lot of groups who do work that empower the residents or give tools to empower the residents of Inglewood. I wrote a blog about this. My blog spot is Miss Inglewood. .blogspot.com about this kind of victim mentality that some residents have developed because everyone is there to service you. So no one, instead of teaching you how to invest in real estate, they rather just give you a housing voucher. Or instead of teaching you how to start your own business or grow your own food, they rather just do a handout at a church. And so I think our approach is a little bit different, where we want to gather tools to actually empower the people of the community. What you were going to say?
You're absolutely right. Our community is filled with wonderful social service agencies or those who want to serve you or give you food or give you
a voucher or whatever the case may be.
Or give you someplace to live. But we're more interested in teaching you how to be sustainable on your own, right? And how to work within the network of your community and those who are there with you to get the tools, to get the education and the resources that you need, that we need to have a safer community and to have better, positive individual lives for ourselves and for our families.
I agree. I think advocacy and empowerment should be at the forefront of anything in Inglewood, and it's unfortunate that it's not as many groups who are really doing advocacy and empowerment things. Like when you come to a village meeting at Rage, you're going to be empowered when you go back to your block to tell the people in your block, hey, this is coming down the pipe. This is what's going on. We need to do this, or we need to act on this issue. So that's really important. That's one of the heartbeats of Rage, as well as changing the perception of what people think about our community. And then, like, how do we work? People ask us all the time, like, what is Rage? How do you work? What do you do? So really, in terms of how we work, we had work groups before, but that actually didn't work out. So what we do now, we have action areas. If one of our Rage members, like Sonya, Harper, like some of the people that we've had on our show, want to take an issue to action, we make that an action area of our group. This is what our current action areas are now. That is school partnerships and youth development. We have great relationships with the schools within the community. Our leadership and operations team, which basically are the individuals who help create and produce the show, who answer the phones, who make sure that we're operating.
Then also the So Fresh Saturdays, our nights out in the park community engagement event full of music, food, and fun. And then again, moving down Inglewood Votes.
That's right.
The coalition in Inglewood that Rage is a great big part of, that helps to get people registered to vote and gets them turned out on election day.
That's right. And then the Inglewood School Repurposing. Unfortunately, Inglewood lost 6 schools when they did the massive closings in 2013. And so one of our missions was to make sure that community would be at the forefront of what happened to these spaces once they were closed. So we've walked through now 3 buildings now, and we're going to show some slides about those within the area to really think about what these spaces can become after they were closed. It is a loss that we lost these institutions, but they don't have to be dormant for too long. And then our Inglewood Neighborhood TIF Public Awareness Campaign. This is really important because the Inglewood community has a TIF that has a huge lack of transparency. And I think what we've done is research what's going on with that and really try to push to the forefront with our elected officials how important it is for us to know what's going on with that TIF. So again, you are watching the Inglewood Call. This is the Resident Association of Greater Inglewood. If you just tuned in, this is not a live call-in show, but we are always ready to get calls from residents or from businesses, churches at our number right behind us at 866-845-1032. And we'll talk a little bit or just show some pictures of some of the work that we've done and kind of go into a little bit more detail about our action areas.
Sure.
So with our school in partnership, some of the photos here are just various activities that we've done with certain schools. We was asked to speak at Northern University. We did a whole entire workshop, a full day with Rage. That's one of our members in the back, one of the co-founders, DJ Dap. We also did a great project with Urban Prep where we had them claim some of the vacant spaces around their school. And then we hosted the Inglewood Education Empowerment Summit, where we had parents and students and organizations all throughout the community come out and just be empowered. Some of these pictures here, I know you really helped with the cleanup. Let's talk a little bit about what we've done with the students in terms of the cleanup.
Sure. So we've had wonderful students from local high schools such as Lindblom, such as Urban Prep, such as Team Inglewood, and more. They all come out to help us every single year at the Greater Inglewood Unity Day cleanup and celebration. It's the one day of the year where we all join together as residents, as businesses and organizations to simply grow our unity by cleaning up our community together.
Beautifying the area.
And so, And
then what I love about the school partnership is that most of the students can get service learning credits. So not only do they actually have an actual project that they're working on with us, they're also getting the service learning credits that they need for the summer. And then I think the funnest part is So Fresh Saturdays. We love this series. It's basically an edutainment series that's designed for all ages in Inglewood and outside of Inglewood to reclaim our parks in the name of peace. It's fun for all ages and just a huge festival.
It is. And what I love most about So Fresh Saturdays is that it is a park tour.
Right.
We literally go to every single park in the community, and that means a lot, especially to a little girl who grew up in Inglewood, and the parks really became a place where they were not safe for folks to go, right?
That's right.
So part of what Rage is doing is we're reclaiming that space, and we're saying, let's use our parks, but yes, let's use them as places to gather, to fellowship, to have fun, to learn about each other, and to become more involved in community. And it has been going wonderful.
This was our third year in 2015. Our last one is always a back to school finale, so we always have a good time helping out the families and the students in the area in case they have some trouble getting some supplies. So we do love that. And then our next campaign, which I know you're actually filmed there.
Yeah, that is me there.
That was when we first started the Inglewood.
When we first started. In fact, I remember the day we took that picture. I'll never forget. We were on the corner of 69th and Halsted.
That's right.
We had teamed up with WBEZ,
That's right.
the Southside Bureau, and Roderick Sawyer.
Yeah.
And that was one of the first voter registration drives that we had as Inglewood Votes. We had just came together in 2012.
Yeah.
We decided that, you know what, we don't care about who we're voting for. We don't care about politics and partisan politics or Democrat, Republican. What we care about is just educating ourselves and making people get out to vote.
Yeah.
So we decided way back then to start a neighborhood coalition all about registering to vote and just being educated. We don't care who you vote for, but we just want you to go and vote because it makes a difference in our community and other communities in Chicago who have a higher voter turnout. They don't look anything like Inglewood.
That's true.
And we need all of our ducks in a row, especially when it comes to getting the improvements that we need. Voting is one of them.
That is.
I'm getting down off my Inglewood vote soapbox now because I could talk about that forever.
No, that's fine, because one thing I do love about it is that with Inglewood Vote, so many of the individuals that we talked to thought they couldn't vote. Some of the felons, some of the people with the backgrounds, and so just going out in the community and having those kind of just face-to-face conversations. We were grabbing folks out the barbershop. We went to the school.
We grabbed them out the tavern.
We got them out the tavern. We got them registered to to vote. I love this, that how we went to the high schools to get the young people to vote. With our school partnerships, many of these high schools ask us, we have people turning 18 and they're eligible to vote. Could you guys come in and do that? And even this year, we did the mayoral forum. We have Willie Wilson who was there, and Chewy Garcia. Rahm Emanuel didn't come to that, but it was definitely, again, another empowering forum that people left very highly informed about who they wanted to vote for. So we had a good time with Inglewood Votes.
We did.
And this is for any individual who is watching this. These are just some of the action areas that, if these are your passions, if you think that you could be involved in these things in Inglewood, RAGE is the organization or the association that you want to be a part of. Again, you can call us, you can email us, you can fill out an application online.
Yep.
It's very easy to join, and it's no really pre-screening process. As long as you have your heart within the community, you are definitely welcome to be a part of our association. And I will go through a few of these a little quickly, because I do want to talk about some of the things that are happening very soon. But in terms of our Inglewood neighborhood tax increment, I mean, unfortunately, we could spend a whole show, which we have a whole show about a tax increment financing. But Inglewood has its own, and what RAGE wanted to do is we just educated people on what was TIF, what does that mean, how much money do we have, how much is being spent in our area, and then we also felt during this election time that voters should have the right to be a part of a council. We wanted to get their opinion. So what you're seeing on the slide is that 85% of the voters in the 16th ward, it was actually one precinct, actually said yes, that we need a resident-based advisory council. And now we have to take action and make sure that goes through.
And make sure that it's created, because that was going to be my next question now, is how does this advisory council come about? Yay, we got to win.
Right. And now we need to move forward with those actions and really let our elected official, who is now the alderman of the 16th ward, know that her voters actually wanted a resident-based council, and what does that look like moving forward. And we can definitely help facilitate that conversation. And then some of the major projects and campaign, I think we're both probably involved in these, is the Green and Healthy Neighborhood Large Lot Program. RAGE had an intricate part in this. Is what's happening at 63rd and Halsted. I know you've been very involved in that, as well as what we talked about before, the Inglewood School repurposing. So with the large lot program, this was something that RAGE really pushed the city, as well as Department of Planning and other organizations, to as a recommendation to have residents of Inglewood actually purchase lots for $1. Any city-owned lots on their block for $1. We had some discussion with them. We worked through some of those criterias, and now that policy actually went to council and was passed. And so many residents of Inglewood now own city-owned lots for $1, and I can't wait to see some of the beautification things that they're going to implement with those.
And I just want to chime in, because I always use this as a perfect example to show how being civically involved can really make a difference in your everyday life in your community, right? The Green and Healthy Neighborhood Land Use Plan was actually a planning process that residents were asked to be a part of and give their input on what they thought should be done with vacant land in Inglewood. And so it was because of RAGE's diligent participation in that year-long planning process, and when leaders asked for recommendations as to what should be done with the vacant land in Inglewood, RAGE gave them a whole list of recommendations.
Yes, we did.
And on that list, RAGE said that, well, if you're going to do something with the vacant land, let residents get a chance to buy it first. Make an affordable program for them to buy it. Right now, we can only get the lot next to us, but what if it just happens to be on our block? So I use this daily as an example of how our little voice does matter at the end of the day.
It does.
And people are listening. So get involved. Let your voice be heard. Come out to these meetings, because believe it or not, you may not see it on election day or the day after election day, but you get results when you stay civically involved.
That's right.
And RAGE is a perfect example of that.
That's right. And we'll just talk a little bit briefly about some of our school repurposing. Again, we're an association with no funding and no staff and actually no office. And we were able to actually get into these schools that were vacant and walk through these schools and really have some recommendations on what should happen with this space. This is an ongoing process. And again, these are just other areas that individuals who want to be involved with Rage, these are places you can plug into.
Exactly.
We need a whole crew of residents to be able to inform this conversation about what happens with our school.
Specifically, if you live around these schools, if you or your children have attended these schools, maybe you've been hurt by some of the school closings, but
Yep.
don't you think that we are the very people who deserve to say what those
happens?
schools
Yep.
buildings should go to, or how they could be converted to truly benefit the community, since they were
Yeah.
previously being underutilized,
right.
Well, if they were being underutilized for Chicago public schools, well, I'm sure that there's some way we can overutilize
Yes,
them
that's
for
right.
our everyday needs in
That's
the
right.
community. And so
That's
that's
right.
what we need help on. Help us to repurpose these schools for our neighbors, for
Mm-hmm.
our youth, for our adults who need education, training, jobs, a place to go to watch a movie or to
That's
see a
right.
show.
That's
Any
right.
of that. These are what our schools could be. We don't need to bring in, well, we can also bring in $1 million brand new buildings, but
Yeah.
we can use the wonderful landmarks, graced with wonderful names
That's right.
of people to
Of the people
respect
there.
from our community.
That's
so
true.
Can't say enough about that one.
And we'll wrap up a little bit here. I know we have a few minutes left, but of course you can catch us on Can TV, which we are here now. Call dancing. Yes, we're here on Can TV. We will definitely know let you know when our show airs. You can always see us on YouTube as well. A lot of our past shows are on YouTube, which is great. And then we do our community forums. We have village meetings every other month on the third Tuesday of the month. And we're just always in the community working. And so just as a wrap up, here are some of the benefits of joining Rage. You get to build relationships with the residents. I have a great relationship now with Sonya, Harper, and so many other residents that I wouldn't typically talk to. And then as well as with the businesses and the schools in the community.
No, you're up. So I know we're wrapping up, but I just got to chime in on this point, right? I think that, there's just this thought among neighbors, that we don't like each other, we don't know each other, and why should I
That's
talk to
right.
that person? And I was just so happy because when I come to Rage meetings, I get to meet new and wonderful
Yes.
neighbors, right? And that's all the more people and friends that you have on your team to do whatever
Right.
for your barbecue, if you want to go out at night, or if you really want to lead a campaign for change.
Exactly.
We just need to know who our neighbors are in the community. We've been taught and put against each other for so long. It's so refreshing
Yeah.
to have something that brings us together.
That's right.
Just for the sake of bringing us together.
And some of the other benefits of you definitely going to get the most up-to-date information that's happening in the Inglewood community that may impact you. Rage members are viewed as highly trusted resources. Everyone from the media, from our elected officials, from our state reps are always looking to Rage members in terms of their expertise. And then, of course, you're invited to serve on several different panels and everything. So that's definitely the benefits. And then in terms of how you join, you can fill out an application. We do have membership dues. You can do that online or at our village meetings. Our village meetings are open to the public the third Tuesday of every month. And then we have our membership meetings on the third Tuesday every other month. So basically you get the chance to network with people every third Tuesday of the month.
Every third Tuesday.
And then, of course, you can always find us on social media all day long at join_rage, also on Facebook, on Instagram. And then you can contact us again if you didn't get that or want to see our website. Go to rageinglewood.org or either email us at joinrage@gmail.com. Again, thank you so much. We tried to pack in what we do in 30 minutes, which is very difficult. So we really hope you enjoyed the show, and definitely follow us and keep track with us. Inglewood is on the rise, and we are definitely people here to contest that and can speak to that. And any last words you want to say, Sonya?
Join Rage. Love Inglewood. Have a great night.
That's right.